Hey, I'm Mark from Performance Bike. I'm here today to show you how to replace the inner tube if you have a flat tire. You'll need a tire lever or two and a replacement tube. First thing you want to do is pull the old tube out of the tire. Once the tire is deflated, one tip you can use to make it your life a little easier is to just push the bead of the tire off the rim towards the center. The center of the rim is usually a little lower, and that'll give you a little more room to get the bead up and over the edge of the rim. So once you've kind of gone all the way around the wheel, releasing the bead on one side, get a tire lever in there under the bead, get it up over the rim, and just slide it around and get the tire bead started. You've got one bead off. That's really all you need to do at this point. Grab the inner tube in there, pull it around till you get to the valve stem, and then you can just pull the tire out of the way and get it out. So you've still got the tire on one side, you got the old tube out. At this point, what I recommend doing is determining what caused your puncture. Because a common mistake is to just put a new tube in, and if you had a thorn in your tire, for instance, still in the tire, you're going to put a new tube in and it's going to immediately puncture again. So you can put a little air in the tube, see where the air is coming out of it. It's usually one of two things: either a puncture where you have a thorn or a tack or a staple or something in the tire. That'll be obviously, it'll be a small pinhole. Or it can be a pinch flat where you have the tire compresses, hits the rim, and you get two small slits in the tube. That's often called a snake bite flat as well, but it's a pinch flat. If it's a pinch flat, you can pretty safely just put a new tube in. If it is a puncture, you'll want to find what punctured the tire and remove it. So make sure you do that and save yourself just ruining another tube. Okay, so the new tube, take it out of the box, and it's going to be completely deflated. It's going to be much easier to install if you go ahead and put a little air in it, give it some shape, make it take the form of the inside of the tire. So just pull off the valve and the valve nut, loosen the lock, and put a little air in it. I'm using an air compressor because it's quick and easy. If you're using a pump, the same thing applies. That's all you want, just a few PSI to give it some shape. Okay, to put the new tube in, you'll want to find the valve hole again. Go ahead and insert the valve through the rim, and then get the tube started inside the tire, going around until you've got it fully inside the tire. And now you want to put the bead back on. And you want to be careful that you don't get the inner tube between the bead and the rim. That can cause it to pinch when you reinflate it. And that's one of the reasons why you put a little air in the tube, because it'll pull away from the rim as you put the bead back on. So starting at the valve stem, get the bead down onto the rim. You can see it's pushing down, and just go around carefully. I kind of push the tube up with my fingers as I slide the bead on to keep it out of the way. Okay, now you've got that last 5 or 6 inches to get on the rim. This is where it typically gets a little tougher. As when I took the tire off to get the tube out, if you kind of push the tire into the center of the rim all the way around, it'll give you a little more room on this side to get the tube and the tire seated. And then you may need to use your tire lever again to get the last few inches on. And again, you just need to be careful here because you don't want to pinch the tube that you just put in. So you want to get this up over the bead and slide it on. Move it a couple of inches, slide it on, and just slowly work the tire on at this point. And once you're just about there, it'll usually just pop right over into the rim. Now the tire's back on. When you reinflate the tire, it's a good idea to put around 30 or 40 PSI in it if it's a road tire, or 15 or 20 PSI if it's a mountain bike tire, to let the bead seat, deflate it, and then reinflate it all the way to the recommended pressure on the side of the tire. That's it. It's pretty simple. If you have any further questions about how to replace a tube, feel free to stop by one of our performance bike shops in your area and visit a Spin Doctor Tech, or call our 1-800-SPIN-DOCTOR-TECH line.